think it was back in 2020 when I first heard that the real estate market was going to crash. And then, of course, there was the pending recession of 2021, or was it 2022? Oh no, the market was going to crash in 2023. Or wait, I think it was 2024. And yet here we are. It's 2025, March the 20th to be exact. And I guess, knock on wood, so far, no recession, no real estate market crash. Perhaps we should call it a market correction, because that seems more realistic and more likely. Unless, of course, you pay attention to your friends, brothers, sister-in-laws, cousin who saw something on the internet, and then there's definitely going to be a recession, and the market's definitely going to crash, and prices are going to drop by 50%, maybe even 75%. Oh yeah, and we're on the verge of World War III. Well, the good thing that you found me, because I've got some data and I've got some facts. So let's talk about what's actually happening in Sarasota and Manatee County, as well as in Lakewood Ranch. Now, of course, I am acutely aware as soon as I mentioned data and facts, I probably lost half of you, but I appreciate the two of you sticking around. Shall we get into it? Hey, by the way, if this is your first time checking out our channel, hello and welcome. If you're a returning viewer, hello, welcome back. My name is Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a lifestyle matchmaker. So glad that you found the channel. Now, of course, you know that there are a lot of people who are freaking out and very fearful that we're entering a recession and the market's going to crash. Now, I am no economist, but by all indications, that is probably not going to happen. So maybe you're watching this and you're thinking about selling your home, or perhaps you're watching this and you're thinking about buying a home. I'm going to go through the data. I'm going to explain to you what I am seeing on the ground here, and then you can make a smart and informed decision. So like I said, today is March the 20th, 2025. The statistics just came out a couple hours ago. Let's talk about what's really happening here. So I'm going to review the numbers with you, but here's some things you should know beforehand. So prices are definitely coming down. They're not crashing. They're just adjusting. There are definitely more homes for sale, which means buyers are going to have more choices. Homes are absolutely positively taking longer to sell. That just means that there's no more crazy bidding wars, generally speaking. And cash buyers, they're definitely slowing down, but they're definitely a big part of the market still. So really all this means is that the market is normalizing. So after years of having sellers having all the power, buyers are having a fair shot now. Okay, so I'm going to give you some numbers specifically for Sarasota County, specifically about single family homes. And then I'm going to give you a little more specifics for Manatee County single family homes, primarily because that is the area that we work, and that is where the vast majority of Lakewood Ranch is. Okay, so in Sarasota County for the month of February, 589 homes sold. That is up 2.1% over last year. The median sales price is just shy of $500,000, $499,990. That number is down 1.5% at the same time last year. And in Sarasota, there are more homes for sale, up almost 26.1% over the same time last year. And on average, it's taking about 46 days for homes to go into escrow. And before I get into the Manatee County numbers, I will put a link in the description down below for those of you who want to see the entire report. Okay, so in Manatee County, the closed sales were down 8.6% over the same time last year. Both the median sale price and the average sale price are both down. The median sale price was down 4.8%. The average price was down 9.1%. And compared with January, that number is ticking up, so prices are definitely coming down, at least in Manatee County. Okay, these next two numbers are the numbers that we always talk about with our clients who are thinking about selling their homes. And that is the median time to contract and the median time to sell. How long did it take from the time you listed it to the time it went into escrow and you accepted an offer? How long from the time you listed it to the time it actually closed and you handed the keys to new buyers? Okay, so the median time to contract is now 46 days. The median time to sell is now 95 days. And I'm not surprised to see that pending sales are down, but I was definitely surprised to see that new listings were down because we're seeing something a little different in Lakewood Ranch. And then finally in Manatee County, we have the month's supply of inventory, which means that if no other homes got listed for sale, it would take 4.9 months for all of those homes to sell. That number is actually up 16.9% over the same time last year. Now, generally speaking, when I do these statistic videos, I don't spend a lot of time talking about condos and townhomes, and especially because I'm about to do a video talking about the condo fiasco that is facing the whole state of Florida. But I think for context, it's important that I review this past month's statistics. So in Sarasota County, sales dropped by 12.2%, only 237 sold. Condo prices dropped 12.3%. It's now at $342,000. And get a load of this, 71.7% of buyers paid with cash. You're gonna wanna watch that video because there's definitely a reason that people are paying cash for condos. Okay, and then very quickly in Manatee County, sales increased 28.1%. The median sales price is down 8.4% to $319,000. There are a lot of condos for sale. Buyers have lots of options, but buyer beware. Watch that upcoming video. Okay, now full disclosure, it's very challenging to get the specific details for Lakewood Ranch for a whole lot of reasons. One, Lakewood Ranch and Bradenton are the two kind of towns within Lakewood Ranch, as well as Sarasota County. And the Real Estate Association does not separate those two out. And Lakewood Ranch is made up of 3 separate zip codes. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna break it down to the 2 main zip codes, which is 34202, 34211. Let's dive into it. Okay, so we're talking about single family homes in those 2 zip codes, and currently there are 749 single family homes currently listed for sale. On average, they have been on the market for 97 days. At the highest end, there's been a property listed for 512 days. Let's talk about the single family homes that are currently in escrow and pending. There are 202 of them. On average, it took 93 days for them to go in pending, and it took, on the high end, 402 days. Okay, so now when it comes to the homes that have sold, I broke them down to 2 separate ways. The last 30 days and then the last 6 months, which is kind of how the multiple listing service gives us those statistics. So in the last 30 days, 122 properties sold. In the last 6 months, 729 properties sold. It took 83 days on average for those to sell. And on the high end, it took 630 days to sell. And then these next 2 are very telling what's happening in Lakewood Ranch. In the last 30 days, there have been 15 properties to expire. I'm going to talk about what that is in a second. In the last 6 months, there have been 80 properties to expire. Now, here's what happens when a property expires. It is based on the listing agreement. So generally speaking, when a seller lists their home, it's a 6 months contract. Sometimes it's 12 months, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but on average, it's about 6 months. So when a property expires, that means it failed to sell in 180 days. There is one reason, and one reason only, that a property fails to sell, and that is the price. Now, of course, it has to be in good condition, it has to be marketed well, it has to show well, but generally speaking, it's price that causes a home to sell. Now, I know in the last 30 days in our entire multiple listing service, there was about 3,300 properties that failed to sell. Good opportunity if you're a buyer, not so great if you're a seller. And these next 2 numbers definitely sum up what's happening in the real estate market in this region. And that's price adjustments. You list a house for sale, doesn't get an offer, you adjust the price. We're seeing a tremendous amount of those. So in the past 3 days, there have been 1,392 properties that had to adjust their price. The market rejected their price, they had to adjust it lower. And in the last 7 days, in the last week, 2,270 properties, that is a tremendous amount, had to adjust the price because the market rejected their current list price. So bottom line, sellers can't just slap a high price on the house and expect it to sell overnight. And buyers now have more options and negotiations are back on the table. So is the market crashing? No, it is not crashing. It is just shifting and adjusting. So for years, the market was wildly in favor of sellers. Now it's more balanced. Buyers have a little more power. So prices are adjusting because there's more homes on the market and interest rates are pretty high. They're hovering around 6.7% as of today. But guess what? I have a little secret for you. Come a little closer. People buy and sell homes every day. So if you're a buyer, great news. Now's your chance. There's more homes on the market. There are better deals to be had. There's less competition. And if you're thinking about selling, it is vitally important that you price it right. And that actually might mean at market value or just below market value. And you've got to be realistic. And now more than ever, you have to hire a real estate agent who's going to be honest with you about what it's going to take for you to sell your house in this shifting market. And here's why I say that. There are a lot of real estate agents who are desperate for business, and they are willing to tell you, the homeowner, whatever it is that you want to hear in order to get your listing, even if that means telling you something that is not true about the price of your home, not true about making repairs, not true about possibly painting, doing some upgrades, So you need a real estate agent who's going to be honest with you about what that's going to take. So don't live in fear. Follow the data. Follow us for more honest, straightforward information. My name is Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group. I work with my wife, Jessica, who works exclusively with buyers. I work exclusively with sellers. This is not 2008. The market is not going to crash. It is just correcting. You need to be realistic. So my advice, turn off the news. Don't listen to your friends, brothers, cousins, sister-in-laws, next door neighbor who heard on the internet. Just call me. I'll give you the facts and the data. And always will respectfully and honestly tell you the truth. Our contact information is down below. So glad that you found the video. Make sure you stick around and watch that video. We'll see you next time, everyone.